Alrighty, so we're going to pick up with long wavy hair. Again, put that hairline on. And I'm going to keep the part on the same side of the head. Now the thing about wavy hair is it's still going to start to be three-dimensional here. It'll start to look like straight hair, but then as it starts to go down, gravity kind of takes a hold of it, and you get these waves that at the bottom then become almost curls. So it's like a wavy wave, and then a curl at the bottom. And just like with the short hairstyles from the previous video, this doesn't have to be done in a way that looks perfect. Hair is an imperfect thing. Leave some space at the top of the head so that we can have it look three-dimensional, and then as gravity is going to start to take a hold, we're going to have those curls show back up at the bottom. And give it some little curly pieces. Wavy pieces to curly pieces. Wave, wave, wave. Curl, curl at the bottom. And then with the hairline here, I'll give it a little part. And I'm going to do the same thing as I did before, but it'll be a little bit wavier. And I'm going to have it look like it's being tucked behind the ear. Give it some wave, and then have it tucked behind the ear. And now you have long, wavy hair. So the next one I'm going to do is going to be long, curly hair. And these are going to be, let's say, looser curls. So they're tighter than waves, but they're not going to be super, super tight curls. And right away from the part in the hair, we're going to start to see some wave. And very quickly, it becomes this like curly line. And the way that I'm doing this curly line to make it look like tighter curls is it's almost like a cloud line, but some of the bumpies are bigger than others. They're just all different sizes, and then the bottom is a little like loopy curl. And then the same thing on the other side, it's going to be wavy. And then the further down it goes, the tighter those curls become. They're not being weighed down anymore as much, so the curls at the bottom are always going to be a little bit tighter. Wavy line, curly line, and little curls at the bottom. And then same thing, I'm going to give it that little tucked behind the ear look with some curly lines. Wavy. And then I'll tuck it behind the ear and make it look like it's there. Okay, so we have long, curly. Now, this next hairstyle is going to be an afro. And so this is what happens when the curls kind of get really, really tight. Gravity doesn't take as much of a hold, so an afro tends to grow out a little bit more than growing down. So I'm going to take the same basic shape, though, at the end. But the first thing I'm going to do is lay out exactly where I want the afro to go. And remember that the hairline on the back of the head ends around the chin. So I'm going to bring this shape down, and I'm going to have it end by the chin. And then I'm going to take my pen, and I'm going to go ahead and give it very small curly pieces that follow that shape that I just drew. So they're like little bumpy cloud lines, I guess I would say. Some of the bumps are bigger than others. And the hairline is also going to probably be the same shape with those curly lines. And then to give it a little bit more texture, I'm going to go ahead and just add a few pieces throughout the hairstyle. There we go. So here we have an afro. And this last one that I'm going to do on the head is going to be like a half up, half down dreadlock style. So I'm going to have it so that it's being like pulled back from the scalp a little bit. And I start in the middle because I find that a little bit easier to do. and it's going to be kind of like a row. And then from there, all of these pieces are going to kind of grow away from the middle one, and they're going to wrap around the head. So you'll notice that they're kind of bumpy here. But otherwise, they're all pretty much the same shape. They're just going to curve with the shape of the head. And I'm going to stop it right by the ear. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on the opposite side of the head. Bring them all the way around. And I'm going to stop them by the ear. And then I'm going to go ahead and give the hairline a little bit of like a pulled back looking texture. So they're just basically little spikies. And then if I want it to be long, like it's being in half up, half down, each lock is going to be kind of drawn individually. And as a cartoonist, you could even turn this into like a micro braid hairstyle. Cartoonists leave a little bit of information out, so you could probably turn this into a braid hairstyle without actually drawing every single braid. But we'd want to give it a little bit of detail for sure. And they're going to layer on top of each other. And that's pretty much it. You have your dreads. Now, the last two things I'm going to do on this empty space over here is we're going to do two different kinds of braids. So I'm going to label this section braids. And the first braid I'm going to show you how to draw is a fishtail braid. So a fishtail braid is kind of, you take one small piece and you pass it back and forth. It's different from the traditional 3-part braid. But I'm going to start with the triangle and split it down the middle. And there I'm going to do this like chevron. So they're like letter V's that stop in the middle and go up to the sides. They'll probably get a little bit closer as we get to the bottom. That's pretty good. And from here, we want to make it look like it's 3D. So the way that it works is it's like one piece over, then one piece under, one piece over, one piece under. So I'm going to make it like an S curve all the way down. And then on the outside here, to make it 3D, I'm going to just give it like these bumpies. And I'm going to do the same thing on the right side. All the way down. And then at the bottom, I'm going to give it like a little hair tie and maybe some loose hair sticking out at the bottom. And there we go. That's your fishtail. Now the other braid, the 3-part braid, I actually was taught this by a student and it was so easy it blew my mind. You're going to write a letter Y. And then from the bottom of this one, you're going to start the next one. You're going to connect them. And you're just going to keep doing letter Y's all the way down. And they get a little bit smaller each time. And from here, you can sort of connect the edges and go through to make the shape on the inside so they look like they're overlapping each other. Connect, and then I'm just tracing over my pencil lines. Connect, and then trace the pencil lines. Connect, pencil, connect, pencil, all the way down so I get what looks like a braid that is made of 3 pieces, traditional plait. And then at the bottom here, I'm going to do the same thing I did with the fishtail braid. I'm going to give it like a little hair tie and a little bit of loose hair. So if you wanted to, for the dread look, you could do each individual braid, but if not, you could just leave it just like that.